Hey, this is Class Creatives, and in this video we'll look into Disney's creative process for the Zootopia series and how animators use Autodesk Maya. The first movie won an Oscar in 2017 and raked in over $1 billion globally, so we thought it might be fun to break down what made this movie so special and how the animators made each animal uniquely entertaining based on their research studying the real-life versions in the wild. We'll talk about how these animations were made, some of the technical limitations they had to face with the animal fur, how some animators even went old school using hand-drawn 2D animation to plan and elevate 3D characters' poses and performances, how live-action reference footage can push stronger and original acting choices, and of course, as always, we'll talk about the keyframe animation process. One of the top priorities on Zootopia was trying to avoid making the animals move and look like humans in animal suits. Some initial research started at Disney's Animal Kingdom, gathering insights and tips from the animal experts. The big thing that animators wanted to be sure of was that the characters looked and felt like animals, even when they walked on two legs or wore clothes. They chose to preserve certain animal movement characteristics, like elephants using their trunks like hands and giraffes maintaining their true gait while running on two legs. They did some animation tests, and it was a big challenge to make Clawhauser have anthropomorphic characteristics while still feeling like a quadruped animal. The gerbil characters wearing their business suits were animated as a unit to walk in straight lines. They made them look ordinary and realistic when they were animated alone, but looked funny when placed together in masses. They ended up using these cycles in the Get Your Popsicle sequence. One animator used Jason Bateman audio clips with Howard Stern in pre-production tests to help them explore and define the character early on.
Well, I don't mean to sound like I'm in denial, but I know I've got plenty of friends that went on bad binges.
Yeah. Animation tests were really important to make sure that the characters didn't look like animals in a costume. In this example here, weight was really important, and the animator even animated the horns so that the eyes were visible during the movements. As the production moved further along, more research was needed, and so like artists have done for many of Disney's classics before, they went to the actual source. Artists on Zootopia did additional research from nature, and from that they got inspired for the central idea for the city. They came up with an idea where predator and prey coexist peacefully, which came about by observing lions and zebras together at a watering hole in Kenya. Their trip to Africa gave eye-opening insights into how animals behaved in their natural habitats. They learned that wildebeests are actually not the smartest animals, which challenged their initial idea of them as city business people. They also learned about Cape Buffalo's abilities to never forget, which led to the idea for the character of Chief Bogo. Disney Animation Studios use Maya for their 3D animation, and they use video reference to keyframe their storytelling poses to bring the timing and ideas all together for the final animation shots. The video reference heightens the acting choices. It's not just about the software that's important here, but the creativity and final results that matter most. At the end of the day, Autodesk Maya is still used by the best animators to make some of the best animations in the industry.
Blood, and death.
All right, you know.
Animators act out their performances and record themselves to help bring the characters to life with more genuine acting ideas. The recordings capture small nuances and subtle acting choices that enhance the movements, giving them a more natural human-like form. The video reference also pushes the entertainment factor, and they can use the video reference to strengthen their body mechanics and help them convey weight in the performance. After animators block out shots, it's common for the final polished shot to change drastically, especially when they use video reference to push the acting choices. In addition to the animators filming themselves for acting choices, they also use the voice actors' performance video recordings to pull additional acting ideas from. Jennifer Goodwin's performance for Judy added a layer of sweet optimism that helped contrast her more cynical base behaviors. Animators even go as far as diving into their personal emotions while filming their video reference, much like a real actor would, so that you can bring as much emotion to each character as possible for specific moments in the movie, which can help draw in the audience by making the 3D characters more relatable to real-life situations. For example, animators paid really close attention to characteristics that rabbits have to enhance the acting performance of Judy Hopps. They animated her ears turning towards sounds when she was on high alert, and made her twitch her nose when she was stressed. They had a term for unique behaviors called binkies, where they run on all fours and then suddenly jump in the air. By incorporating these behaviors during startled moments, the animators are able to add much more believable traits to the character's personality. During the development of Judy, she went from being bubbly, innocent, cheerful, and naive to a more serious, concerned, and more on edge type of character. Of course, these changes in personality type required animators to adjust previously animated shots to reflect her personality updates. Animators even film video reference of other animators in addition to themselves to get additional acting ideas and to help them define specific action beats. Sometimes mixing storyboards with video reference help animators plan out their shots, and having a mix of resources give more options to push the character acting performances. One of the tougher aspects of the animation process is that even when animators shoot reference and fully animate their shot, it can still get cut and left out of the movie. It's common for dialogue to get trimmed as well, to improve the cinematic flow, or simply to provide a briefer moment. They also cut lines to speed up the pacing, especially during intense action sequences, even if the shot was fully animated before. Is it your dream to someday work for Disney Animation? If not, feel free to skip ahead to the next section or stick around if you're just curious about what they look for in artists they want to hire. We create videos like this one to not only show you how 3D animation features are made, but to also give you a chance to learn the exact workflows necessary for your career or even your own personal projects. Most feature and AAA game studios will want my experience or something equivalent if you are an animator, and ZBrush or equivalent for character sculpting. Several of our instructors actually work for Disney, and you can learn from them in our courses covering everything from animation and rigging to environment and game design and character creation. We'll have some links in the description if you're interested in taking your art in a new direction with us.
Do you get your fur whitened? Because it looks fantastic.
Okay, look, I'm gonna pay you back. I just need a little more time.
I gave you time. Time is up. The end.
Some animators even go as far as animating in 2D to block in and plan their animations. Using 2D animation to block in their shots help animators achieve less stiff and cartoonier push poses that add appeal to their actions versus using a typical layered approach that could hinder the animator's ability to push the rig past its limits. Animators might animate actions multiple times from scratch to get it feeling just right. Early on in production, they create crowd cycle tests to help the crowd animation team. They provide them with cycles to use throughout the film's production. Not all cycles will be used, but the creation of the cycles themselves also serve as a way for animators to test the rigs early on before production starts, and they can give valuable feedback to the riggers as they define the core movements of the characters as production starts to ramp up. There's so much attention to detail in these movies that even non-hero background characters are painstakingly animated to feel alive. Even if the first pass blocking follows layout closely, the final animation can still deviate to new acting choices to push character performances. Animators don't always work in step or rely on pose-to-pose with action-based shots. Sometimes straight-ahead animation is used for more fluid, spontaneous, dynamic movements. When shots progress in production, animators will get additional notes and retakes to make performance changes that will give the most emotional impact while enhancing genuine acting for the characters. It's also a common thing during early production for animators to animate to scratch dialogue while the final actors are still being cast.
I'll find him for you. Oh, thank you.
Of course, this leads to performance and shot changes that the animators will have to alter or completely redo. And this is pretty common during the animation production process.
Yes!
Ow.
Come on, we gotta get to the ZPD.
Animators' goals obviously are to get the characters to act as closely to the director's vision as possible through their first blocking pass, address notes, and then polish the animation to final. But sometimes even a simple glance can require several revisions before reaching an approval from soups and directors. There's a lot of reasons why this might happen, such as miscommunications, story changes, dialogue changes, surrounding shots, or hookup shots requiring different performances or poses. or even simply just the director going a different route. All of these things can lead to animation change needs. It's a pretty common situation, and it's important for animators to detach themselves from the process and focus on what the production needs for the shots to work. Looking carefully at the layout and asking questions when the shot is assigned all help animators from going in the wrong direction early on. This is also one of the reasons why 3D animated movies take so long to create and are expensive to produce. For hookup shots, continuity needs to be considered by animators when starting and ending shot sequences so that they can all blend seamlessly when edited together. Retakes and performance changes are common so that shots line up perfectly during cuts. If you're not familiar with the process of layout, it typically includes a bit of animation, some rough lighting, editing, and even modeling to block in a shot. Layout artists have to think about composition and camera animation that will enhance the narrative, and these elements are some of the most important jobs for the layout department. Storyboards help layout artists visualize the shot in 3D, but it's not uncommon for layout to completely break away from the storyboards entirely with new story beats and ideas. Of course, there's times when layout will put together sequences and they end up not getting into the final movie. Sometimes they are deleted entirely or just reworked. It's also not uncommon for the camera style of early layout passes to be used for the final animated versions of the shots. What's fun about the layout role is it allows the artist to kind of explore a bunch of ideas at an early stage in production. Sometimes ideas stick and sometimes they're scrapped, and it's a very critical role in creating high-quality movie cinematography. Details like what lens, f-stop, and specific camera moves all help convey the right feeling and emotion for the layout stages. This early stage of visual storytelling is pretty important to the animation process. The poses, animation, camera angles, and visuals are all used by the animators as a starting point to block in their version of the final animated shot performance. Maintaining the true scale of the animals was a big challenge for character designers and also on the technical side as well. Since there were a lot of different animal types in the movie, the camera shots also had to be closely monitored. For the sets where the characters were placed, they had to design infrastructures with multiple levels to accommodate them, and they also had to have several types of props that could be adjusted for the different scales of all of the characters, such as adjustable desks. The movie's production workflow was pretty standard, starting with concept art, which moved to 3D modeling, painting, and texturing. As you probably guessed, for Zootopia, adding fur was one of the unique challenges artists needed to address. Rendering the fur was a big technical challenge since it's very different from human hair in structure, color, and shininess, depending on the species of the different animal types featured in the movie. The details on the character fur was pretty impressive, with the main characters of Nick and Judy having over 2 million hairs each. They even did some special techniques for the polar bear fur, so Disney really put in a lot of effort into making each character unique. The giraffe had an astounding 9 million hairs, which even required a new shader that allowed light to pass through it for the final renders. We can expect to see a lot of fur complexity improvements in the next installment, since a lot of new technical hardware and software advancements have happened since the first Zootopia movie came out. Moving on to another technical challenge in the movie was the clothing. Since each animal had their own set of diverse anatomies, custom clothing was necessary for all of them. Outfits were meant to convey the actor's personality and to enhance the animation acting performances. So the artists had to create different outfits to fit each character's unique personality type. Even the design of the city was based on diverse districts based on climate and not just the type of animals that live there. They took direct inspiration from real-world cities like San Francisco, London, and New York, with different boroughs like Chinatown and Little Italy. These ideas led to the concept of manufactured climates where Tundra Town's cold exhaust could feed Sahara Square's heat, and melting ice could provide water for the rainforest district, which all created a natural ecosystem within the city. These are the extreme attentions to detail the environment design team made to ensure that the city felt alive and real to the audience. Junior animators that are part of the talent development program sometimes work on what's known as toolkits for marketing, which double as tests to see whether or not these animators are ready for real shots on the movie. Well, that about wraps up this video on how Disney's Zootopia series uses Autodesk Maya and why it's such an important piece to the feature film animation creation process. As with all of these big movies, it really is a team effort, and all departments work together to do their best to bring something new to the movie. The combo of video reference, mixing 2D animation planning to push 3D animated shot performances, and advancements in visual effects pushed this franchise to over $1 billion to become one of Disney's most watched. We hope you enjoyed our insights and the research that we did for this video, diving into tons of Instagram posts, interviews, and documentaries to highlight the animation process together. The newest entry in the series looks better than ever. Will you be watching in theaters on release day? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Perfect.